Good evening. How's everyone's Saturday going? My Saturday has been both very productive and very chill at the same time, which is really nice, actually. We're gonna keep doing emotes. We're doing emotes until the emotes are done today. Or until I pass out at my tablet. Whichever one comes first. So, might be a longer stream than usual. Depends on how long it takes to get these done. I am feeling a lot better. Thank you. Did not think I was going to be totally put out of commission last night, and then I was. Not a good time. But I am doing much better today. I am so excited to finish these goddamn emotes. I want these chopsticks to be brown, but not like gross brown. Perfect. Okay. Also, the liner is kind of bleh on this. I wasn't feeling good when I was doing it. Yes. I think it was not a good time. Endometriosis is not fun. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. I'm realizing I forgot to color part of a noodle. I did work on this a little bit last night. I started feeling better, but it was like way too late to stream, so I was like, I'm just gonna do a little bit of what I can, try to get ahead before tomorrow's stream. I keep thinking it's Sunday for some reason. I think it's because I haven't had like a chill day off in a while. The last few weekends I've been going to see family out of town, and I love doing it. It's a lot. It takes a lot out of me, just with how busy it is. Not what I wanted. There we go. Speaking of family stuff, I'm gonna be out of town again next weekend to go to my brother's other robotics competition. And I'm so excited, but it also means that I don't know if I'll be streaming at all next weekend, or if I'll just be streaming on Friday. Who knows? We shall see. Only had coffee to drink today. Next weekend is gonna be super busy. I have had 3 cups of coffee, and I'm about to start a 4th one soon. So I do not feel tired, which is amazing. A miracle unto itself. Okay. I'm gonna zoom out, hop over to here, because yes, I do believe I did use that blue white that I like to use. Yeah, I did. Okay. I'm gonna put this one also behind the noodles because of the cup. The back part of the cup. That's the word I wanted to use. Words, how do they work? Forgot to wipe off my tablet before the stream, so give me a moment. It's a little dusty. It collects dust like no fucking other. I have no idea how. I used this last night. Why does it have so much dust on it already? It's not even laying flat. Like, I draw at an angle. How does it get so much dust so fast? My chair is spinning, my chair is spinning, my chair is spinning. Started leaning over as I was drawing this line, and my chair started spinning without me wanting it to spin. I was not prepared for that. Because I have my legs like crossed in the seat, so I had no control of fixing it, and I was in the middle of drawing that goddamn line. Alright. Right. I'm gonna pop over here to make sure I get the right shade of blue. I really should just save it as its own separate color. But will I? Excuse me. Well, that's what you get for playing a hard game. I play games that don't involve leveling up your character wrong, like Stardew Valley. You can level up in any way you want in Stardew Valley. There's no wrong answer. Not gonna lie, not totally sure why you would want to play a game where you can level up wrong. I'm just not a glutton for punishment like you, I guess. Alright, gold parts is a separate layer from the rest of the cup because they get shaded a little differently before we do the overall shading. You're like, I had a plan, then I forgot the plan. After my third cup of coffee, my body was like, do you want water? Like, no, I don't want to drink water. What if we drink more coffee? My body was like, coffee doesn't taste good anymore. We want water. So I'm drinking 1 cup of water. And more coffee. Choke on my water. This is why I don't drink water. It tries to kill me. Coffee won't do that to you. Excuse me, I try not to cough into the microphone. I choke on my water. I am a grown adult who doesn't know how to drink water. I'm not super happy with how this cup looks. Like, it could look so much better, I think. Maybe. Probably not. It's just a cup. I've started doing some sketches for Mermaid, like in a sketchbook, physically, during my lunch breaks at work. And I'm really excited. But oh my god, I have failed at every mermaid I've tried. Like, every time I'm like, I'm gonna do 30 mermaids! And I have never done 30 mermaids. So I'm actually really scared. I'm trying to be gentler with myself and be like, hey, just do as many mermaids as you can. But I also really want to do 30 mermaids. And I will kill myself just to do like 10. It's fair, I suppose, and this year is not shaping up to be any calmer during the month of May because we're gonna be moving the month after, but like, dear God, I would like to do 30 mermaids. Please, if things could just calm down for enough for me to draw 30 mermaids. 30 days. That's all I ask. 30 mermaids. I don't think that's too much. No. I'm not doing animations yet. I'm not doing them yet. No. Stop it. You're just gonna lead this into doing animated emotes. Taking a break from emotes after I finish your emotes. You want some moving mermaids. You want No, I don't wanna. That's so lame. That's so lame. Stop it. No. That's a bad joke. That is a lame and bad joke and you should be ashamed. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on your house. Shame on your cow. Shame on your family. Dishonor. Dishonor on you and your family and your cow. I do! You've brought dishonor and shame to me. How do you feel? I'm not gonna lie, this is really dumb, but I did that and then I lost a viewer. One person was like, nope, she's shaming people. I don't want to be here for that. It's all good. I have to be nice to you. Like, I came here for wholesome relationship and art advice. I did not come here to watch some weird masochist and his sadist significant other. I do worry that I'm like a terrible sadist because I like making people do things like watch rubber. I know it causes such psychological terror that it essentially causes physical pain and suffering. God, do I love seeing the horrified look on people's faces. They realize that they agreed to watch an hour and a half of a movie about a tire that kills people with its mind. I get some terrible, weird satisfaction out of that. Just like, yeah, this will hurt you. I'm gonna like it. That's about as far as it goes, though. I'm not a sexual sadist. I feel so bad when, like, I would just feel bad. There have definitely been times when I'm reading erotica and I'm like, this is gonna be great! And then it turns out they're also a mean person in the bedroom and I'm like, no, don't do that to your partner, that's so mean! You just hit them in the face, that made them cry! All parties are consenting, but this does not feel good. Just don't like being mean to the people I like. Sometimes I do realize that my streams get weird and I go off on weird tangents, but that's where we go. You know what I really like? I really like chocolate covered espresso beans. I'm thinking about those right now because I think I could drink more water in the day if I could also just eat handfuls of chocolate covered espresso beans all the time. They sell them at the supermarket I go to, and maybe I will get some next time as like a snack. But that's also a risk because they are chocolate and caffeine, and I will eat so many that I have like heart palpitations. I want it. I want those heart palpitations. I'm thinking about it because I was drinking like this 4th cup of coffee is gonna be like the dregs from the coffee cup, the coffee maker. I don't mind the bits of coffee grounds at the bottom of the cup. Like, I don't hate it. It's like strong coffee flavor, and I'm like, yeah, I'm here for it. Strong coffee flavor and crunch. There was an espresso chocolate bar. So back when I technically was not allowed to drink coffee because my parents were concerned about me having too much caffeine, one of my aunts got me a chocolate bar with espresso beans in it. It was a dark chocolate bar with espresso, like ground up espresso coffee beans in it, right? It was essentially the most bitter piece of candy they could ever give me that also contained caffeine. And she was like, she'll like it because she likes the taste of coffee. But at the same time, I think my parents were hoping like it'll be so bitter and gross that she'll never drink coffee again. I loved it. Oh my God, I made that candy bar last like an entire week because I would just eat like one tiny piece at a time in the morning. Because that was like that was the only caffeine I was allowed to have for the day. I think it was either in very early high school or I was in middle school. And I would sneak some every morning with my decaf coffee that my parents allowed me to have. Oh, it was so good. I loved it so much. I don't like how I'm doing this. Get rid of that. Yeah, no more of that. Now I like dark chocolate. Now I like chocolate covered espresso. There's a coffee shop in the city near us that I used to go to, and they would sell like, I think they were like $1 each. They would just sell like these small bags of dark chocolate covered espresso beans. I was addicted. They were so good. Yes! I got Art addicted to those, and he doesn't even like coffee or bitter things, and he was like, these are good. Look at that. That's a ramen cup right there. Now we're gonna do coloring for the gold parts before we do anything else. You're having fun out with your friends. I really hate the line work on this cup, but I'm glad that you enjoy it. Hope you have fun. Bye! Now back to chocolate covered espresso beans, because I will never get off of this topic because it's my favorite thing in the world right now. Like, I need a fancy candy dish for my desk that's already too cluttered and messy right now to put anything on it, but I need a fancy candy dish to just fill with chocolate covered espresso beans. Just eat. Anyway, I'm gonna go over here, double check how I shaded this. Alright, I know how I did it. Okay. Here. Yeah. It is an art. It's an artist's curse to hate everything you ever make forever. Which is true. It's not a good time. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Work on a project until you're happy with it, but then remember to let it go. That's my advice for being. There we go. Okay. will be moving to a much smaller town, and I am worried that some of the things that we have that our small town is starting to get will not be available in the small town that we are moving to. I know they probably will. Like, if it's in this town, it's gonna be in the next one. What if there are no chocolate-covered espresso beans, guys? What if there aren't any? So excited for them, and I might just be leaving them behind. Totally still working, so I think that's not changing. After I finish this emote, I have to get up and get more coffee. I've been out. I finished drinking water. I did it. I did it. I drank the water. I was hydrated. Now my brother can't say I don't take care of myself, because I drank water, goddammit! He's about to finish high school, and he's got a lot of strong opinions, and a lot of his strong opinions relate to the fact that he doesn't think I'm healthy enough. I think I am as healthy as I will ever be. That's not true. I should really go exercise more often, but I'm not going to! But I won't. And that's okay. Someday I will. Won't be anytime soon. It won't be until after. Actually, there's like a lot of parks places where we're moving to, so I'm excited to running and like walking to those parks. Carrying my bag of trail mix, actually just a bag full of espresso beans, chocolate covered espresso beans. Eventually they won't even be chocolate covered, it will just be straight up espresso beans that I eat like a gopher. Do gophers eat rocks? No, they do not. But maybe they should start. Just so that my metaphor will work. No! Is this gold, like, inlay exactly the same as it was up on the smaller cup? No. Will anyone else notice except for me? Probably not. And I also drop this down to like 75. And then I am gonna add like one more highlight layer, and it's gonna be white. Bright fucking white. Ah, look at that. It's fucking fine. I like that. There we go. Hey, not too bad so far. Now we're going to merge everything else so that we can then do the rest of the shading. Multiply this section off of from. Yeah. Should I zoom in? Probably. Oh goodness, it's already been like 30 minutes. I didn't even notice. such a good chat audience that I didn't even notice. Having so much fun together. I mean, I am having fun. I just big. Can I lower my gate? That would be super cool if I knew how to do that. Unfortunately, you are my sound guy. I could just talk louder. Did that work? Can you hear me? If I mumble really quiet, can you hear me? Yeah? No? Maybe? Can you still hear me? I am essentially whispering. I mumble a lot when I draw and talk and stuff because that's just what I do. I mumble to myself like a crazy person. Thank you for coming to fix my audio, sound guy. You want to hear my crazy ramblings? I'm still thinking about this espresso. Thinking that I also need something to drink. But I said I wouldn't do that until after I finish this emote, and I will stand by that. I'm also realizing there's a lot of little spots that don't have color, and I want to scream about it, but I'm not gonna do anything about it. It's fine. 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 I keep saying it's fine, it will be, right? That's how it works. Believe it or not, I am a very antisocial person. The place we're moving to is like not official student housing, but it's really close to the college in that town, so it's almost like unofficial student housing. And my mom's like, great, you'll make friends your own age, right? 'Cause I'm around that age of people graduating from college. And I have no interest in making real life friends. Not that I have no interest, it's just I have a hard time. I hate that there's little spots, and I have a bit, and I should not sit here and try to fix every little bit. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. What I should do is I should fix this. There we go. Does it feel like Sunday to anybody else? It's like Sunday to me. I have to keep reminding myself that it's Saturday. Does it feel a little like a Sunday? Maybe it's because it's fucking snowing! No! It's March! No more snow! We've had winter. We're done. We're done. That's fair. I believe that you're so sleepy. Are you so sleepy that you would steal someone's energy drink if they accidentally left it on your desk? Yeah, I'm just giving you shit. I'm not so upset about it. Although I did say I was gonna give you shit about it until you got me another energy drink. That hasn't happened yet. We haven't gone outside. Because of the snow! Oh, don't you. don't you? Something hilarious that I like to do that Art hates to no end is I have named all of my ovarian cysts that I get from endometriosis celias. And I think it's terribly clever and amazing. I am the funniest. Okay? You make all your terrible dad jokes. I'm allowed to have this. I made the joke when we left the doctor's office when we first found out that I had cysts. Like, we were in the car coming back, and he was like, why? Why are you? No. Like, this is very serious. I was like, yes, but also. It was amazing. Sometimes I am so funny, I can't believe it. I'm not upset about these little spots. Not upset about the little spots. They don't matter. You guys can't even see them. I'm looking at yours at the other monitor, and you guys can barely even see them. Okay. They especially don't matter then. I want to do some gaming streams in the future. I think I've talked about that here on stream a little bit before. I don't know how I'd get that set up. I have to figure it out. I would have to talk to my stream guy, by heart, about how to get that set up. Remove? Okay, that sounds like a plan. I can wait months. Can I? Will I have to? Yes. I did my taxes today, and they took forever. Like they always do. Also, I used Free Tax USA because it was supposed to be free, and it was not. Like, I might as well have just done fucking TurboTax. Literally called Free Tax USA, like, what the fuck? And now we save. Okay. I'm gonna put everything on a brief pause while I go get more coffee really quick. Okay, I am now there. I have coffee. It's really quick. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that nothing chaotic happened while I was gone. Coffee is cold now. I made it this morning. I have like a coffee pot that's supposed to keep everything warm for many, many hours, but I guess it can't keep things warm for like 12 hours. And I didn't want to put my coffee in the microwave because I'm not a disgusting person. I'm just a regular season. Get rid of some of the shading right here. Fine. Fine. Totoro Lives Alone. And it is both the cutest and saddest anime I have ever seen in my life. Like, dear God. It's about a 4-year-old lives alone. You can imagine he doesn't live alone for good reasons. I had the last episode to watch, and I'm not prepared. I think there are only 10 episodes. Getting really upset with how many like blank spots there are. Maybe I'll fix them in a minute. Yeah, doesn't live alone. Good reasons. They are terrible. Like, like, it's not even gonna be noticeable. You can't even see it. You can't. Should not be freaking out over. Shouldn't. I should not be upset. Not. Like, even if these get printed, like, they're gonna be minuscule issues that no one can actually. Zipped my hair up into my hoodie. More common occurrence than I'd like for it to be. I'm trying to get my hair to grow out really long. Because my brother was able to grow his hair out down so long that when it was wet, it reached down to his butt. He's got very, very curly hair. Like, his hair is even curlier than mine. So I'm trying to get my hair to grow out to be that long at least. I've got like at least another foot. It's probably gonna take me like 6 more years. I also need to get it trimmed though. I need to get like a trim and have some layers cut in because right now it's all essentially one length and it's not the best. My hair does seem to be growing faster though since I started taking better care of it. So maybe it won't take, it'll only take like I can have long, luscious, made hair. What would I do with having that much hair? Who fucking knows? want to make carbonara, but I should eat the leftover chorizo nachos. Today's the last day that they're good. Thinking about the carbonara and I really want it now. I'll probably make it tomorrow night, but I also just want to eat garlic bread that I have in the freezer. Garlic bread is so good. I would eat garlic bread for every meal. Then I would get fat, because bread makes you fat, Scott. Bread makes you fat. Bread makes you fat, Scott. That was a quote from Scott. I realize that not everyone has seen that, even though it was pretty popular for a while. At the same time, is a little niche. Because I had friends who had seen Scott Pilgrim, so I thought they would remember the quote, and they were talking about how much they love garlic bread, and I was like, "But bread makes you fat." They're like, "Bread yeah, but it's so good." And I was like, "No, bread makes you fat, Scott." It's always a gamble. I like that joke. And now suddenly, I want to take a nap. For no goddamn reason! I'm drinking coffee. I think it's because I started thinking about pasta, and my brain was like, eat a ton of pasta and then sleep for like 12 hours. What if we did that? This is why I worry that I'm a terrible lazy person. I feel like I do a lot of things. I've actually been trying to track more of the things I do every day for my own mental health, because I always feel like I don't do anything during the day, even when I do a lot of things. And there was a post someone made that I saw on the internet where they write down essentially, like, they make a to-do list, and essentially it's like 2 things that they know they'll be able to get done. And they color, and they make like 1 square next to it, like a checkbox, but instead of checking it off when it's done, they'll like color it in halfway green if they even do like a little bit of it. Like their example was like, sometimes when I'm too depressed I can't wash my face, so they would put like half a green square even if they just like splashed a little bit of water on their face. Maybe they didn't do the whole soap, tincture, lotion routine, but they did like a little bit of water. Good enough. So I've been doing a bit of that. I have this tiny little planner where I write down all the things that I have to do that day and also things that like I've already done. And then I'll color, and it's got the, like 2 little checkbox markses. And if I start it, I will color in one of the boxes green. And if I finish it, I will color in the second box. And it actually has been helping my mental health and like putting some like stuff in perspective for me of like, hey, I actually do things. I might not do everything I need to do that day, but if I at least start it, like that's good progress. And it's been helping a lot. Also, been the longest planner I've ever used. I've used it for 2 weeks now. Usually my planners last about a week. I hate that it's snowing. I was gonna take the trash out after streaming, and it's snowing now, and it's snowing a lot. I don't want to do it now. No way. I hate it. I wonder if it's gonna snow tomorrow. The weather does ruin a lot of things. Not supposed to snow anymore. I wonder if it's gonna snow tomorrow. I should check the weather. I hope it doesn't snow tomorrow. No, I don't want that. And my leg. beginning. Starting to work. I'm kind of really worried about this. Not that it won't be really good. I know it will be, and it's something that we need. And I'm very excited about it. But this is the first time in a while that I felt like mentally stable, I guess. So maybe I'm just subconsciously worried about stressing myself out too much about the move and losing that stability again. Because it's hard to keep up sometimes. I am trying. I think that's a valid thing to be concerned about. Alright, now that we have successfully shaded all of the noodles, we have to shade everything else. Ha ha! Ha ha ha! It does look like you guys aren't seeing everything I'm drawing as I draw it, and that is a concern. Oh well, there's not a lot I can do to fix it right now. Fuck. I just hope it's not lagging too much. No, it looks like it's lagging quite a fucking bit. Alright, cool. Now it just looks like it froze! Hooray! Those will be really good for us. Hopefully I'll have fewer technical issues in the new place. Big swishes. Do this right now because now I'm gonna do this and we're gonna start blending. Kind of. Or like, there we go. like a weird little high-pitched whistling noise in the song that keeps throwing me off. I am going to get rid of it. I am fading out some of the shading. Nope. Never mind. Fuck it. Not doing that. The noodles are fine as they are. Okay. Okay. That sounds like a good idea. They do? I'm glad. I'm glad you like them. I do really like the shading. I do really like the shading that I've been doing on the noodles. Because it's like a yellow tone, but the shading is a purple tone, so they end up looking real good together. Color theory. Aha! you'll have the smallest amount of shading. I'm trying to be very sparing with these darker shadows. have the song Have You Checked Your Butthole in my head right now. It's not a song I can sing on stream because it is copyrighted content, and also it is not appropriate for even mature audiences. Everyone will giggle. It's a good song, but I stuck in my head right now. over my tablet of dabbling. I'm gonna soften it up on certain parts just a little bit. And now we just need to add the highlights. And then we'll only have 5 more emotes to do! Hooray! goodness. I'm gonna be here for a fucking while. I'm reading this comic on Webtoon. It is good. Called Forever After. And this character, she gets transported into like the land of fairy tales, and she has to essentially live out each story as Prince Charming. It's good. But they get to the Little Mermaid. And one of the things I really liked about this comic is that they were very accurate to the original story. For all of them. Little Mermaid is a pretty fucked up original story. And they do address it, and they change it, and like it's all good. It's like a turning point for the plot of the main overall comic, right? But I forgot how fucked up Little Mermaid story is. If you didn't know, Little Mermaid was originally written by Hans Christian Andersen, who was the guy who was also behind the story of Frozen, but his actual fairy tale of it was super different. Disney really Disney really changed a lot of things. But in the original Little Mermaid story, mermaids are like immortal creatures without soul. And the Little Mermaid wants to marry the prince so that she will have a soul. So that when she dies, she can go to heaven, right? She's like, if we get married, then he will share his soul with me. There's also the whole thing where she falls in love with him. So she can have a soul, go to heaven when she dies, because, to quote, mermaids are just beasts without souls. But she doesn't. She trades, that's in quotation, trades her voice for legs, in which, Sea Witch cuts out her tongue, and then slices her tail in half, and forms it into legs. But every step the princess takes on land will feel like she's walking on broken glass, and her body will feel heavy like lead at all times. All the time, forever. Even if she marries the prince, forever. She has like a year and a day to get him to fall in love with her, right? She did the whole saving from the shipwreck and everything. And by the way, she's giving up a life of being a literal immortal. And she's 50 at the time. Yeah. And, she meets the prince. She can't talk, so she can't tell him about how she saved his life and everything. So he kind of like treats her as kind of like a mute pet. Like he cares for her, but barely as a person. More just as like, she's nice to have around. And he marries someone else. He marries a princess who he thinks is the one who saved him from the shipwreck. And on their wedding night, which happens to be a year and a day, the Little Mermaid's sisters come out of the water and tell her that they traded all of their hair to Sea Witch for a magic knife. And if she kills her beloved, the magic knife, her tail will grow back. And she can go out and live the rest of her days as a mermaid, as she was supposed to, right? So, she goes to kill him. It's a children's story, by the way, and she can't. She finds him in his, like, honeymoon bed with his new wife. And, oh, by the way, he did tell her that he loves her, but he loves her like a sister, so she can always be around, right? And she decides she can't kill him. So she throws the knife into the ocean, and she jumps into the sea and turns into sea foam, which was the case if she didn't, like, get him to fall in love with her and share her soul for a year and a day. She turns into sea foam, so she dies. The nicer part of the ending is that her act of love grants her a soul, so she can still go to heaven. So fucked up. So fucked up. Oh, and the prince essentially forgets about her. Like, it's not even, it's like she dies and he's just like, yes, she left. Oh, it's so fucked up. And Disney was like, we're not gonna do that. I can't really blame Disney for deciding they don't want their brand to be connected to that. They want their Little Mermaid story to have a more modern happy ending, where the Little Mermaid gets her prince and lives happily ever after. most messed up ones. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I also had that. Okay, so when I was very young, there was this weird like series of picture books where it was like my big little picture book, right? Or my little big classic or something like that. And they were huge. They were like 18 by 24 size picture books. And they were like slightly abbreviated versions of the original like Grimm fairy tales and like the Little Mermaid, which was originally called like the Little Sea Maid, by the way. And I think I had a Jungle Book one. And I remember because I got really excited because The Little Mermaid was my favorite Disney movie for the longest time as a kid. And I was like, I got it. They got it for me. It had really big pictures and they didn't know how fucked up the original story was. And that book had everything in the original story. They did not abridge that at all for children. They were like, yes, and the Little Mermaid, but she loved him, so she couldn't murder her beloved, and she fell into the sea and turned into foam. And I remember reading that as a kid, and I was like, this sucks. I was like, I got really upset about it, and they were like, maybe we should have looked through these before we just let her read them. Yeah. I think I was like 5 or 6. The pictures are really pretty. Yep. There's a Little Mermaid statue in just off of the coast of like Hans Christian Andersen's hometown, which is one of the Scandinavian countries. I can't remember which one. I wanna say Sweden, but I don't know 100%. But they do have a statue, and Little Sea Maid statue, and they based the face off of his wife, which was something that he wanted. He was like that's what he was like, that's what the Little Mermaid looks like. He was like, she's so beautiful, right? Because he loved his wife very much. But she's also topless. And his wife was like, I do not want a statue of myself topless. Just like in our town where everyone can fucking see it. So the naked part is based off of the sculptor's wife. Which was a very well-known fact because Hans Christian Andersen's wife was like, do not tell people that's me naked. No. It's her face, somebody else's boobs, and they put it on a rock, like just on a beach, like just off of the coast, so it actually, like from far away, looks like a mermaid, which is pretty cool. But then you hear about the story and you're like, maybe it's a no. And that is this emote done. Hooray! Okay, that looks pretty good. Get that, only 5 more to go. So excited. Am I gonna finish them all tonight before the end of the stream? Maybe. I hope so. I'm gonna try. This does make me really hungry for like ramen though. And I was a dumbass who did not have dinner before the stream. So what will win out? My need to finish all of the emotes, or my being too hungry to continue? Will we have a break in the middle and it'll be 2 separate streams? I forgot I have to do the highlights and all the hair. Back. That's fuck. Now let's see. I just drank the last of my coffee, and in our shitty apartment, if I want more coffee, have to unplug. So, I'm gonna be running on empty. I'm gonna try to actually make the noodles like a consistent width. Not just make them all willy-nilly, whatever width I feel like. But we'll see how long that lasts. I haven't seen the newest season of Demon Slayer yet. I wanted to wait until it's all on Netflix. Binge it. No! thing. Oh, so there's another really messed up Grimm's fairy tale. That's a little less messed up. Not by Hans Christian Andersen. It was collected by the Brothers Grimm, and it's Snow White, which was supposedly based off of a real princess. Like, there's a statue and there's like a whole historical thing behind it. Or it might be a metaphor for consumption, which was tuberculosis. Anyways, in the original story, the stepmother wants her to die, right? Because she can't have Snow White being the prettiest in all the land. And so and everyone loves her except for one person, who is the huntsman. And because the huntsman was in love with her, right? With the evil queen. She asked the huntsman to go and kill Snow White. The huntsman's like, cool, sure. But then, like, the huntsman falls in love with how kind and beautiful Snow White is, decides not to kill her. And instead the queen had told him to bring her Snow White's eyes and her tongue. So he kills a deer and he rips out the eyes and tongue of deer, which for some reason, like, those are much bigger than eyes. And the queen has them cooked and she eats them, fully thinking that they are Snow White's body parts. She's hoping that it will make her more beautiful if she eats Snow White's body parts. Anyway, so Snow White runs around in the forest and meets the dwarves, and they agree to take care of her if she'll, like, take care of the house, because they then also fall in love with her being so pretty. I don't know, maybe the moral of the story is everyone is weak to a pretty face. Anyway, the evil queen finds out that she's still alive, and she, and in some versions she does ask for Snow White's heart, and she eats that instead. And she disguises herself as an old crone, and she takes, it's like a poisoned, it's not a poisoned apple the first time, it's like a poisoned necklace. And she gives it to Snow White, and in some versions it gets so tight, in some versions it's a corset, not a necklace, and it gets so tight that, like, it crushes her ribcage, she can't breathe, and she passes out. Sometimes it's a necklace that, like, chokes her and she passes out. Anyway, the dwarves find her and they cut off the necklace / corset, depending on what version you're reading. And she wakes up. She doesn't die. They got there just in time. They're like, hey, don't trust strangers, dumbass. And she's like, I won't trust strangers, I promise. In which finds out from her mirror that Snow White isn't dead. So she goes back into her disguise a third time as an evil witch, evil crone, right? And this time she comes and she brings a comb, and the comb is pretty standard. And the comb is poisoned, but it's also magic. So in Snow White, and it's not like a comb that, like, you drag through your hair. It was like a decorative comb that's like a hair piece where it's got the comb teeth, and you, like, push it through your hair and then you push it back in reverse so that it holds your hair in place. It was like an old-fashioned hair clip before they had hair clips. So Snow White puts it in her hair, and it digs its teeth into her scalp and poisons her, and she passes out, and she's supposedly dead. Anyway, the dwarves show up, and they pull the comb out of her head, and she miraculously recovers. She's alive again. They're like, the fuck? Stop trusting crazy old women in the forest. And she's like, how? Stop trusting crazy old women in the forest. They're like, you're not allowed to leave the cottage anymore. And she's like, alright, cool. I guess I'm not allowed to leave the cottage anymore. Thank you for taking away my autonomy. Obviously, I can't be trusted. Anyway, the witch sees it again, and she comes back, again disguised as an old crone using her magic. And this time she has a poisoned apple. And only half of the apple is poisoned. The other half is not. So when she shows up, and she's like, oh, these apples, they're so good. Snow White is like, can't leave the house, so I'll talk to her through the window. But also, you take a bite of the apple. To prove it's not poisoned, the old witch takes a bite of the not poisoned half, and Snow White does not see her keel over and die. So she's like, oh, cool, okay, so this must be okay. She takes a bite of the poison side, and it lodges itself in her throat. And she technically is presumed dead. And the dwarves freak out because obviously, like, there's nothing that they can take off of her, nothing they can pull out of her head. They're like, what happened? She's just dead. But they love her so much they can't bear to bury her in the ground. She's too fucking pretty for that. So what they do, they make a glass coffin, they put her inside of that. Hang on, I gotta like draw a straight line, so I gotta hold my breath. Not going well for me. Nope. Nope. You know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna use line tool. Anyway, so the dwarves, they can't bear to put her in the ground, so they don't. They decide to make her a glass coffin, and they go to her every day because they love her so much. And they sit next to her and they gaze at her. And then one day, a prince shows up. He immediately falls in love with how beautiful she is. And the dwarves see that he's madly in love with her. So they agree to let him take the dead body to have. To do what with? No one fucking knows. Can't imagine it's anything good. And, yeah. So he takes her. And in the process of taking her, they're loading her into a cart. And it jostles the coffin like she falls. The coffin falls off of the fucking wagon, which dislodges the piece of poison apple from Snow White's throat, and she is miraculously alive again. And the prince is like, this is amazing! We have to get married. They get married, and they live happily ever after. That is the story of Snow White. Oh, but the witch, so the evil queen, who had disguised herself as a witch 3 times. The 3rd time, she could not undo it. She became ugly forever. And if that wasn't enough, she decides to go to her stepdaughter's, wedding to try and kill her again, I guess. And they see her, and Snow White decides that she gets to wear hot iron shoes. They heat up some shoes. They're usually represented as clogs, by the way, which is significantly Dutch, but like this story is supposed to be from Germany, so yeah. Anyway, so they heat them up till they are white hot. They strap them to her feet, and they force her to dance to her death. In some stories, she is saved from a terrible long death by falling off a cliff. She dances and falls off a cliff. In some stories, she legitimately dances until her death at Snow White's wedding. Imagine that was your wedding entertainment. They're like, oh, did you get a live band? Yes. And some professional dancers. Like, what the fuck? I'm glad you like this story time bit. I have a lot of Grimm fairy tale knowledge. Most of it is not good. The Grimm fairy tales were not very bueno. We could talk about the original Snow White, or not Snow White, Sleeping Beauty story, but that have some trigger warnings on it. So we're not gonna. There are lots of different versions of the Sleeping Beauty story, actually, and some of them are not bad. Most of them are not good, though. Most of them also involve a very serious lack of consent. I'm trying to think of, there's Cinderella, which was originally called Espunzel, is like Cinderella, I guess, like cinders and ashes is essentially what they called her. Her dad was still alive the whole time in the original Grimm fairy tale. He just let his new wife abuse his daughter the whole fucking time. Yeah. Because in the Disney version, he died. In the Disney version, he goes on a lot of business trips, and then he eventually just doesn't come back. Because it's implied that he died, like, while away on business. I don't know how common that was in the Disney realm, but apparently it was common enough. They were like, yeah, that seems plausible. But in the original story, his first wife, she knows that she's dying. She's very ill. Okay, well, thank you for lurking. Have fun. So his wife knows that she's dying. Like, she has a baby, and she's, like, dying, right? Cinderella is not... She's I want to say that they made her, like, maybe, like, 5 or 6 years old. Story. And she, her mother asked to be buried underneath the juniper tree outside of their house when she dies. And the dad's like, yeah, I can do that. That's cool. I love you so much. Please don't die. But she dies. And eventually he remarries, as you do, I guess. And his new wife has two of her own daughters, because, like, she was also a widow. And they treat Cinderella like shit. And Cinderella, like, runs out and she cries underneath the juniper tree where her mother is buried. It's a whole thing, right? She's very sad all the time. And so she comes of age to be wed. And her, one of the things her father goes on a trip and he asks everyone what they want, and her stepsisters ask for, like, jewelry and a trunkload of new dresses and blah 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 blah. Rapunzel asks for the first twig fall and hit him on the head. He's just like, alrighty, I guess I can do that. So he does that, and she, I don't know, she keeps it. It's like some weird memento thing. In some versions of the story, I'm like, where did this come from? In some versions of the story, that's what the juniper tree grows from. She, like, plants it over her mother's grave, and that's what the juniper tree grows from. In some versions, the juniper tree is already there. Anyway, she talks to the tree. The tree talks back to her. Super weird. And then there's doves. The doves talk to her. There's no fairy godmother. The doves talk to her. And they, yeah, the end of the story, she eventually gets the prince. Her stepsisters cut off their toes and part of their heel so that they can fit into the slipper. And they marry the prince for a little while. Or they are at least engaged. Some hanky-panky happened. And then the doves talk to the prince. Because Rapunzel's not crazy, okay? The doves actually talk, I guess, and they tell him, and he believes birds, and he looks at the fucking dismembered feet, and he's just like, the birds were right. You lied to me. And eventually he figures out that Rapunzel was the girl that he met that night with the glass slipper, and they actually get married. And her stepsisters and stepmother go to the wedding. Because, you know, they're trying to make fucking connections, I guess. I don't know. Getting good with the other nobles? Who fucking knows? And the doves show back up for a final time, and they claw their eyes out. That happened at the wedding. Everyone was just cool with it. Yep. The doves clawed the stepsister and stepmother's eyes out. And they lived in poverty the rest of their lives with disfigured faces while also being blind. And that was just a chill thing to happen at the wedding. They were like, yep, that's cool. Weddings are dangerous. Think about that the next time you RSVP to like your cousin's wedding. You could be the next one. Have you ever wronged them? Have you ever tried to murder them or steal their significant other because you might get attacked by birds? Trying to make the noodles a consistent size. Or a consistent like width, and in order to do that I am then now layering noodles off of each other. Is it 3 noodles layered together? Easy. Who fucking knows? It's just noodles upon noodles upon noodles. Noodleception. Making me really fucking hungry for ramen. Not gonna lie. Trying to match up the noodles with like the curved bits a little bit. Not worrying about it too much, but I am trying. But so that at least like the amount of noodle looks. How are you doing? How is your night going? I'm glad you're liking the stories. I'm sorry you feel nauseous and tired. I am hanging in there. Trying food while you're hungry is hard, because all I think about is how good ramen would be right now. maybe these emotes will make you lose all of your followers and viewers, like in the middle of your streams, because they'll be putting so many ramen emotes in chat that they're just like, oh fuck, now I'm hungry. That's when you know. Ah, okay. I thought it was when you got that offer for sponsorship from Raid Shadow Legend. Ah. Dream of someday being able to draw food as good as Studio Ghibli. Sure, but I want to cook food that tastes as good as the food in Spirited Away looks. Does that make sense? Right now, we watched Food Wars, and I'm thinking about from like the first or second episode that like so slow roasted like potato, onion, mushroom thing wrapped in thick cut bacon. I'm thinking about that right now. I want it. Oh, I want it so bad. It doesn't help that it feels like this room is getting a lot warmer. Alright, my computer is not enjoying this sudden heat. So it looks like I am actually gonna have to call it a night here, very briefly, because I'm gonna go eat food and then probably stream some more tonight later. So thank you, Tryhard. Thank you, Livid Lemming, for hanging out in chat, and thank you to everyone who showed up, even if you didn't feel like chatting. Thank you to my Patreons, Livid Lemming, Gecko the Pony, and Team Fixers. I will see you guys later tonight.